He was getting the gawk gawk 3000 from another girl. That son of a beach tried to gaslight me saying nothing like that happened. I saw nothing. I didn't that she. Then his beach has cut off the headlights of his car and just floored it down the dirt road with no street lights, and just screamed how he was going to unalive both of us and how when someone found our bodies, they just assumed it was an accident. He told me that if I bring up that girl one more time it won't end well for me. Devin drove me home after that. I should have left him after that, but I was just so afraid of him. He would scream at me, cry and stomp his foot when I didn't do what he wanted me to, hurt me, repeatedly, pressured me into doing the deed, and intimidated that he'll unalive himself when I refused to talk to him. I had tennis practice but I started to feel sick, so I called my stepdad to pick me up and take me home. Before we pulled into the driveway there was Devin's car. It wasn't all surprising as sometimes Devin would just be in the house waiting for me. Then, as we walked into the house, we heard them. My mom and Devin weren't quiet. My stepdad pulled out his phone to record and then we went upstairs and walked on Devin jackhammering my mom. There was a lot of screaming and crying. My stepdad and I went to the car, then we drove to a parking lot and just cried. While our phones were blowing up, my stepdad then sent the video of my mom and Devin to both of Devin's parents. My ex-in-laws asked for a meeting. They exchanged information and my stepdad told them he would see them in court. His parents try to play it off like Devin was a victim. 1. The legal age of consent in my hometown is 16 and he was 17 at the time. 2. No, he freaking wasn't. If you watch the video, Devin was trying to smack the phone out of my stepdad's hand, and when I started crying asking him how he can do this to me, Devin started telling me to stop crying because I wasn't even that good at the deed anyway. My stepdad and I went back to the house. I just went to my room while he went to pack his stuff to leave. My mom came into my room and I was crying because, even though Devin was a piece of crap, he was still my boyfriend. My mom started making fun of me for crying. It's not my fault that your boyfriend wanted me. Boo-hoo, stop crying, maybe you put on some more makeup, you can keep a man. Then she went on to say how Devin pleased her so well, that he knows how to make her come like a real man, and unlike my stepdad he knows where the spot was, that Devin would always tell her that she's tighter than I am. All the while Devin was trying to call me, y'all. Devin's way of apology was to blame me. I'm sorry you had to see that, but if you spend more time with me I wouldn't have been seeking other women. Your mom was there for me and she cared for me. You abandoned me when I need you the most, blah blah blah, like, beach. I gave you my heart and soul, I put my needs on the back burner for yours. What the F do you want from me? Then Devin switched tactics, trying to convince me that I misunderstood the situation, like, MF. I walked on you doing the deed with my mom. So fast forward to the time I went to school, I didn't talk to my mom or Devin at that time, so Devin's sister spread the news to the school that Devin had done the deed with my mom. Now, I was afraid to tell people that Devin was hurting me because I knew no one would believe me, because Devin had this good boy reputation. Only a few people have seen how awful Devin truly was. However, Devin let his mask slip and hit me in front of the whole student body. The funny part about Devin hitting me is the fact that no one believed he was doing the deed with my mom. No one believed that until he hurt me and started screaming that I ruined his reputation. He just had to keep his effing mouth shut. We were separated and I had to explain to the principal and our guidance counselor that wasn't the first time Devin had hit me. That boy did a lot worse things to me than just hit me. Do you want to hear some messed up shit? Before me, Devin was in a relationship with a girl and he did the same thing he did to me to her. She told people and no one believed her because, like I said above, Devin was a good boy in everybody's eyes. They isolated that girl to the point where she had to move away. No one believed her, until Devin slapped me, and it didn't help that Devin threw a tantrum. He got suspended cause he broke things in his tantrum. After that, a lot of people came forward and spoke about how Devin was secretly a piece of crap. Devin's parents gave my stepdad some money to keep it out of court and then moved away because of shame, and my stepdad and my mom got divorced because Devin wasn't the only person my mom was cheating with. By the way, my mom never stopped seeing Devin. That beach took him on elaborate trips. They went to Hawaii, Disneyland, and Texas. Devin and my mom were a match made in hell. But karma prevails. Devin suffered a leg injury and he can't do ballet anymore and he got fat. My mom left him, his parents abandoned him, and the last time I checked he works at an auto store and lives with his sister, and to top all that my mom gave him gonorrhea. How is your leg? I know you're reading this, you piece of crap. It's a shame, isn't it? You tried your best to live a good life but in the end you're in debt, fat as hell and worth nothing. But me? I'm in love, happily married to a dude who treats me like a queen and has 3 babies. Edit, Devin saw this post. I repeat, Devin saw this post. Devin's in the audience, people. Look alive. Update, I want to post an update to my story here. My story has been read by Brew. Well, Devin's sister apparently subscribed to Reddit Brew and she, being an a-hole, shared the video with Devin and he lost his mind. Devin broke things and when his sister laughed at him, Devin hurt her and stole her laptop to contact me through Discord. Also, I'm sorry about my grandma's mistakes, I'm way too tired to try to fix them today. This is the text message I received from him, I just don't know where to post them so I'm going to copy from Discord to here. Addison, I understand what I did to you was painful but it was almost 8 years ago. Your little Reddit post went way too far and now it's everywhere on YouTube. Does it feel good knowing that you humiliated me? I'm asking you, I'm begging you, Addison, please remove the post before my work sees it. Never once you apologized to me, Devin. This is the first time you acknowledge what you did to me. I don't give a f that it's been almost 8 years. I don't care because never once you said I'm sorry to me. Never once have you said I'm sorry, Addison, for all the horrible things you've done. And when you do, you say I'm sorry but then blame me. You expect me to get over it. You expect me to let it go. You affected me to where it took me years to trust another person. What your sister has told me, you have not changed, and the little tantrum you threw when your sister laughed at you shows that even though it's been damn near 8 years, you really have not changed. Yes, I take great pleasure in humiliating you. Do you know how many Devins work in an auto store? Unless you've been bragging about screwing people's mamas, I doubt people would put 2 and 2 together. You better be lucky your sister only kicked you out. If I was her, I would have called the cops on you for hitting me and destroying my things. Devin, you're one of the reasons why I'm in therapy. Maybe one day I will forgive you, but we both know damn well it won't be tomorrow. Also, some people think that my mom raped Devin as he was 17 and could not consent to my mom. Yeah, that is BS. Devin was basically at 445. He was 17, so when their little love affair started, he was above the age of consent in my hometown. I'm not saying what they did was right. I'm saying Devin knew what he was doing. He knew what the F he was doing. He knew when to keep his mouth shut and when to speak. He knew who to target and who to become friends with. He knew who to hurt and who to be buddy-buddy with. He targeted the weak and friended the strong. He was not a victim of my mom. Just because he was young does not mean he couldn't consent. I didn't mention this in my last post, but Devin used to send me videos of him doing freaky things with other people just to make me upset. And my mom wasn't the only person who Devin was cheating on me with. She just was the person I didn't know about. Devin knew what he was doing. But I should thank you, Devin, as you're the reason why I am the woman that I am today. Story 2. Whipped for blowing up at my wife spending our life savings. Last month, my wife and I flew in her sister and her family of 2 to help us raise our 2-month-old daughter. We're a working couple, but she's still on her maternity leave. The tension began when my sister plus family needed to do a visa run. Basically what that is they need to leave where we are and fly to another country so that they could get a visa to stay here, since we were asking them for a favor to help us out with our daughter. At first I didn't mind that my wife was the one booking their plane tickets and hotel accommodation for the visa run, but then instead of a smooth in and out process, the thing became one problem after another. First, we dropped them off at the airport and they realized they need a visa to enter the country they're going to. We all thought it was visa-free, so my wife spends our money to get their visa expedited. That also meant we had to rebook their flights with, guess what? Our money. Second, this morning on the return leg, my wife received a notification from the airline that the flight is delayed, so she passes on the message to her sister. Her sister then decides to arrive at the airport at a later time cause the delay was 3+ hours. However, what my wife and her sister failed to notice is a clause in the notification which states that the check-in time remains the same, so when sis plus family go to the airport, the check-in gate was closed and they couldn't board. So again, my wife spends our money to book new flights for them plus new hotel accom for a couple of days. All told, 80% of our savings are gone just because of this whole exercise. She did apologize to me over spending our money, but I just can't shake the feeling of, we worked our off for that savings and God knows we need it. The real kicker in my nuts is that she's considering leaving her job to take care of our daughter, which would leave me as the sole source of income in the household. We're already at a situation where I only keep less than 5% of my paycheck and give everything to bills and towards our savings, but after this whole visa run, I'm hours away from telling my wife to stop babying her older sister over this. I mean, the sister and her husband prepared savings for their journey to help us out. Why don't they spend it? Is it because we're the ones asking for a favor? Anyways, that's my predicament now. I haven't spoken to my wife yet since I woke up and headed to work. I'm still ambivalent about how I feel about this because I feel my decision in the next couple of hours could mean I'm a husband that doesn't understand or I'm a wuss for letting my wife spend all our money just like that. Update: I had a conversation with my wife and it was a weight off my shoulders. We decided together to set boundaries with how much we're spending towards our in-laws. I haven't opened up the matter of her quitting her job, one problem at a time. Some extra info: yes, I drive a Mustang, owned it for 3 years. My wife helped me buy it and it's gonna be paid off in 2 months. I also collect diecast using that 5% of my salary. Everything else goes to bills and to savings. The savings I'm talking about here was meant for us to migrate elsewhere, but now it looks like we're back to square one in terms of saving up. We live in the UAE. Update 2. Thanks everyone for making me realize this is the price I pay for being disengaged in the process. I should have done my due diligence and helped my wife out with checking and verifying information. Plus I never thought of looking at it from an employer/employee perspective since they're family, so I looked at it through that. Your comments made me realize it's not a you deal with your family/I deal with mine type of deal. We as a couple gotta look out for each other's backs. Update 3. We might get some money back because the airline they initially had booked is willing to give us a refund. Apparently other passengers got affected by the 3+ hour delay and missed the plane. Silver lining, I guess. This is my final update from now. Man, everyone here has been brutally honest and it stings, yes, but it's much needed. Thank you all.